Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wellness Foreplay. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles. We are your hosts, and every episode we ask 4 questions
about
a certain topic in wellness. And today, this week, we're talking about aging.
It's such a big deal, right? Especially as we get up there in years. We're always a little bit concerned about how we look and how we're feeling. And there's so many different ways that aging kind of presents itself to us. So we're excited to be able to bring you another episode about aging. We went over aging itself on the last episode, but we're super excited to be breaking it down into the 3 most prominent theories on aging for you this whole week. So today we're going to be talking about the free radical theory, and the next episode is going to be mitochondrial theory, and the third theory we'll be talking about is
the sirtuin theory of aging.
All right,
that's a big word.
I know, right?
That's got to be worth something in Scrabble.
Yeah, so excited to share this with you, because if we can do anything to help you guys take some ownership and empower you to slow down the rate at which you're aging, we absolutely want to do that for you. So first of all, you want to give your disclaimer?
Yes. Pro tip: don't ever wear a black hat if you have gray sides, especially when you're talking about aging, because it makes you kind of self-conscious.
Oh, whatever.
Just thought I'd be a little transparent. So yes, our disclaimer is we are not giving any medical advice. The information we're giving you is not intended to prevent, treat, cure, or mitigate any diseases. It is simply to educate you and help you be your best healthcare consumer for your own wellness and your own peace of mind. Let's just put it that way, because health is important. And when you are in control of it, you are in the driver's seat. That's really what we want you to do.
Yeah. And so just so everybody is on the up and up and knows what we're doing here, this podcast, we actually record live. We're streaming through Facebook on 3 different platforms right now, as well as going to be uploading this to our YouTube channel, Dondi and Marcy Nettles, after we're done here, before it goes to the audio pleasure of the podcast realm.
And we're on episode sweet 16.
16.
Wow.
That is so awesome. I'm so excited. 16 was a good year, right? I think.
For me, it was. Yeah, I got my driver's license.
All right. So let's go ahead. And first of all, doctor, former police detective. So what we've done is we've come together so that we can do the investigations for you, to be able to come up with the knowledge that we know is the foreplay to your wellness. So are you in the mood to get that knowledge that you need to slow down the aging process? Because today is the day to be here with us. Please go ahead and share this out to anybody that you think is concerned about aging or is just feeling some of the effects of aging.
Maybe sooner than they wanted to.
Yeah, right. All right. So episode number 16, we're talking about aging part 2. It's the free radical theory. So we always come to you with one topic, 4 specific questions that we're going to be answering for you. And so the 4 questions for today is: first, what are free radicals? Second, are all free radicals bad? Third, why are free radicals considered a major cause of aging? And then the 4th is: how can we prevent or counteract the damage free radicals cause and potentially slow down aging? Is anybody out there up for slowing down your aging? It's like, I know I put one hand up, but I really want to put everybody put your hands up, both of them, right? I want to go with both hands straight up in the air there. So are you ready to get started, Doctor?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. All right. So question number 1. And first of all, I want to just give a quick shout out here. It's like, I am so glad to see Mama Margie on here, and Jennifer Jeep. My friend Jeep is here as well. Yvette from my high school years. So girlfriend, so glad you're on here with us. And then of course, Rachel and Larry and all of the rest of you. Thank you so much for being on here with us live. And we know that many people are going to be listening to this as a recording. So just know that we love you and we want to celebrate every single one of you, and we appreciate you being on here with us.
Yeah. And if you're listening to the podcast and you'd like us to shout you out, check us on Facebook, follow us, and tune in live, and we'll call you out once in a while.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to do that. All right, so question number 1.
Yes, what is it?
What are free radicals?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
Free radicals, they are not hippies from the 60s.
No.
No, they are not.
No.
They are molecules inside our bodies.
They might act like them, though.
They do.
They can.
Free love and all that stuff.
Yeah, going from here to there to here to there to get what you think you need.
Yeah.
but never quite getting what you want.
Yeah. True story.
That's exactly what a free radical
That's exactly
is.
what a free
Oh my
radical
gosh.
is. It's free to move around and cause damage.
Causing havoc
Yes.
all the way around you, right? Okay, so go ahead into
So,
proper terms.
Free radicals.
That totally fit though.
Yeah, it did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was
Nice
funny.
tangent, but it actually worked. High five on that one.
Right.
So free radicals are molecules inside our body, but they're unstable. And they're unstable because of how they're created. So most of the time, free radicals inside our body are created one of two ways. Normal methods of creating free radicals are just living our life, what we call regular metabolism. So utilizing the food sources that we take in as fuel, our body breaking it down and utilizing that fuel. It's kind of like, let's just call it cellular exhaust. So when your car burns gas, it puts out, which is beneficial, it makes the car go, but the bad part comes out the end called exhaust. That's what free radicals are in our bodies. As our bodies go through normal metabolism, doing all the things that you need them to do, blinking your eyes, beating your heart, making skin, making bones, making blood, all the things that your body does, all of those processes create debris, and that debris are called free radicals. They're unstable molecules. But there's other ways that we get free radicals, like environmental toxins, things that are exposure to things called carcinogens, cigarette smoke. I grew up in the Southern California, I forget what county it is. This is called it. I lived in a city called Riverside, and we actually had these things called smog days, where the smog was so bad, air quality was so bad, they would send us home. And I remember, because back then, I used to call it recess when I was a little kid. Now I just call it life. But coming in from recess, and our lungs would hurt so bad just from breathing in all of those environmental toxins. Well, environmental things, carcinogens, air quality problems, cigarette smoke, sunbathing. Used to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Sunbathing and all kinds of taking too many vitamins. These are all things that cause free radicals. But free radicals are unstable molecules inside your body, and why they cause damage is they're unstable.
Yeah.
So if you remember chemistry, and you remember electrons, and you remember paired electrons and valence shells, so a free radical has an unpaired electron, which means it's searching. It's going out searching. It's free to search around and steal electrons from other things. And when it steals something from, let's just call it a heart cell, when it steals an electron and now turns that heart cell into a free radical, because now it's unstable. And that's actually how cancer and other things develop, how mutations and deletions in our DNA strain develop, caused by free radicals. But free radicals are bad guys. Call them bad guys.
Well, and not all of them are though.
In the form of disease.
One of the things that I wanted to mention too, that you can actually create more free radicals by doing things that are good for you too. And that means, like, if you like to exercise, and I put that in a bad way, huh?
Yeah.
Like, if you like to, it's like, if you exercise, because it doesn't matter if you like it or not, but if you do it is what can create more free radicals inside of your body. And so just know that every single thing that we do on a daily basis, just living our lives, really creates free radicals inside of our bodies. And so that what you just said about them being bad guys just kind of actually ties right into question number 2, which question number 2 is, are all free radicals bad? And that's why I said, well, not all of them, because our immune systems actually rely on some free radicals so that they can function properly. Our immune system.
Our immune system does. So yes. So free radicals, most of them are bad, but some of them are made specifically for good. So I'm gonna give you kind of a biology lesson. So we all have blood, and in our blood we have white blood cells. White blood cells are like the circulating immune system of our bodies. And of those white blood cells, about 60 to 70% of them are called neutrophils. Neutrophils are just moving around through your bloodstream, looking for bad guys, looking for viruses, looking for bacteria, looking for foreign things, looking for things that are going to damage you. And what happens is these neutrophils, they work on a process called phagocytosis, which is a fancy term, a medical term, scientific term for eating something. So they surround it and then they eat it. Well, here's the cool part about it. They use something called myeloperoxide. Myeloperoxide is a free radical. made by your body, made by the neutrophils in your body. So when they come in contact with a bacteria or a virus, they surround it and then they inject it with myeloperoxide, which kills it. The good news is it's a free radical meant for good. The bad news is sometimes we take approaches that can actually minimize that, and that's not good. And hopefully we're going to talk about
Wow, you know, that is a really good point, because a lot of the times, and we're going to talk about this here in just a moment on one of the next questions, sometimes we try to address the problem of free radicals, because free radicals can be a major, major problem inside of our bodies. But depending on the way that we choose to go about balancing it out, it can actually be doing more harm than good.
It can.
Because it could be attacking the good free radicals. Wow.
Not a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's not a good thing at all. And so talking more about free radicals, why are free radicals considered to be a major part of the aging process, or one of the main theories? And this is question number 3. Why are free radicals considered a major cause of aging?
It's because of the damage that they cause. So when you have here's really, it's all based on your body's level of something called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the situation you find yourself in when you have more free radicals than you have antioxidants to neutralize those free radicals. And I'll give you kind of a quick summary of that. So antioxidants are actually looking for they have an electron to give, and they give that electron to the free radical, thus neutralizing it. So they're neutralized free radicals. That's what antioxidants do. And in the process, we have antioxidants and we have free radicals. Oxidative stress is what happens when we have more free radicals than we have antioxidants to keep them under control. And the more disparity, or the higher the number of free radicals, the greater amount of oxidative stress that we have. That's in essence what causes it. But here's the mechanism.
Okay, before you go on to the mechanism though, can I just kind of put oxidative stress just into a little bit more of a layman's term?
Sure.
Oxidative stress, basically you've got the wild and crazy free radicals that are going into a small room and just bumping off the walls all over the place, trying to get what they want, right?
Like a frat party.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So picture a frat party, whether you've been to one or whether you've seen one on TV, right?
Animal
and think about the damage that is caused by the wild and crazies bouncing off the walls. So the wild and crazies of the free radicals that are bouncing off of the walls and the other parts of your cells inside of your body, the damage that is caused is oxidative stress. So the damage to your cells caused by free radicals is oxidative stress, just because I don't always understand the science terms or the doctor terms. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to help break it down for
So it could actually
the normal
be a
people.
sorority party too.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
It could be.
Just checking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't leave anybody out.
Okay, so now get into, sorry. I know.
No, that was actually really great. So the bigger the frat party, the bigger the oxidative stress load.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The bigger the damage.
The bigger the damage.
Yeah.
And we want to minimize the damage, because that's how you slow down the aging process, or at least keep it under control.
Well, and think about it too, that leads to consequences.
It does.
You know, because frat parties, sorority, I can't even say
Sorority.
Yeah, okay.
You got it.
Those parties, they always cause damage, which always leads to some sort of consequences, whether it's legally, whether it's rebuilding, whatever the problem is, right? The consequences to the damage is what we really have to look at. And because we're talking about being proactive in our wellness, so I'm so excited for you to hear the rest of this episode.
So, and the reason why it becomes a problem is, so when free radical damage is left unchecked, or the oxidative stress level gets higher, the frat party's big, what happens is that it causes DNA problems. It actually causes mutations and deletions of what we call our genome. And in 2003, scientists and researchers figured out what that was. Consider our DNA like links of a chain, okay? So every one of those links are switches, and those switches produce genes, and those genes do something specific, like keep tumors in check, or allow your body's blood flow to be more efficient, or minimize plaquing inside your blood vessels to allow that blood to flow. Here's the problem. As we have more of this oxidative stress leading to free radical damage, consider it the walls of the room that the frat party is being held in. The more guys bouncing off the walls, the more dents in the walls. And the more the problem is, and the more that's going to cost to repair it. So if we can minimize that, it's awesome. But sometimes what happens is the holes in the wall, they get where they can't be replaced. And now it causes a problem. So that gene has an issue. It has a mutation. And now the more that starts to build, the frat party can go from one room to the next room, and the next room. Before you know it, the whole house has damage. So that's what happens with oxidative stress. That's what happens with diseases, because diseases directly affect aging and in most cases accelerate the aging process. But it doesn't have to be a disease. It also accelerates how our cells age because they're just not functioning properly. So if you go into that room and there's dents all over the walls, maybe the door doesn't shut right. Maybe the windows don't close right. Maybe it's not soundproof anymore. Maybe it just is unpleasing to look at. So it's the whole functionality of the entire house. And the more that gets damaged on the inside, the less functional it is. That's our bodies in essence. And free radicals directly relate to that.
Yeah.
And accelerate that process.
So guys, if you are feeling like you are looking and you are feeling and you are performing like an older person, no matter what your age is, you probably need to really look at this free radical theory on aging, because wrinkles come from free radical damage.
Yes, they do.
I ain't in the game to get wrinkles, okay? So I'm doing everything I can. Yeah, so that's why we're bringing you all this information, because we want you to be proactive in your wellness long-term to help you prevent certain things that can happen when your cells break down. But we want you to be able to enjoy your life that you're living along the way too, feeling good about yourself, feeling energized, and looking your very, very best, guys. So that's why we're doing this here for you, because we want you to have everything that you need in your tool belt to have that knowledge that we know is the foreplay to your optimal wellness. Yes. Okay, guys. So thank you. That was so good. That was so good. I hope that all of you are getting the value out of this. And every time I hear it, I grab something different and get different ideas about things that I can do myself in being preactive. I like to think of myself as being preactive, which is even a step ahead of being proactive. So let's move into question 4. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Awesome. He's always ready. He's the ready man. So 4, how can we prevent or counteract the damage free radicals cause and potentially slow down our aging process?
Great question.
Oh my gosh, do you guys want to know that? Is that something that you are even one bit curious about? What if you could slow down the rate that you are aging? What if you didn't have to look 80 when you're 80 or 70? You know, there's some people out there that look older than they actually are. You know, my favorite hashtag, you know, 50's the new 30.
Yeah.
I told somebody that and they're like, oh my gosh, no, actually 60's the new 30. So 50's got to be the new 20. So I'm like, oh, I'm all in for that. I'll take that one. Right. And so what can we do? How can we slow this process down and slow down those free radicals? Not even slow them down necessarily, but neutralize them. We want to neutralize the excess and leave just the good ones there that we need.
Yes. Great question. And I love this question. And I'm going to start off by, I was just rereading a book that I read when I was in chiropractic college. It's called Never Be Sick Again. So here's a big prop out to Raymond Francis, the author of this book. And the thing I love about the premise behind this book is it's so simple. It breaks down. His conclusion is there's only one disease, and there's only 2 causes. And it's so simple. The one disease is cellular malfunction. So in every disease, the common denominator is cellular malfunction. And in every one of those diseases or instances of cellular malfunction, there's only 2 causes. And here's the simple part of that. The 2 causes are deficiency or toxicity. So in other words, deficiency, we're deficient in something we need for normal cellular function. We lack that, and therefore the cells are functioning abnormally, they're malfunctioning, and now we have disease. So things like air quality, water, rest, positive thoughts. Then we get into things like nutrition, vitamins, minerals, things of that nature. Good quality carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And when they're out of balance, we have now deficiency. So that's the number 1 cause of cellular malfunction, which is the only cause of disease, cellular malfunction. Well, the other side is toxicity. Living in a very toxic world, whether it's from 5G and we're getting EMF bombardment, whether it's blue light because we're on devices like all of you are on right now, all the time, or it's other stuff. environmental toxins, things in our drinking water, things in our environment, exhaust smoke, air pollution, all of these types of things. So the best way to prevent that cellular malfunction is to not be deficient, but sufficient. So where does good quality nutrition comes from? What is my best daily intake of water? What is a good quality carbohydrate, fat, protein? And these are all topics we're going to be discussing as we go on with this show. But the other part of it is staying sufficient so you're not deficient. And the other is to minimize, or as much as you can, reduce your toxicity level. So those are the two causes of it. So now we're talking about the precursor to free radical damage. What can we do to minimize it? There's all kinds of things.
Well, and before we get into actually the things that we can do, is I want people to understand that aging itself is not a disease.
No.
But aging contributes to many, many, many diseases, right? And so that's why we're really encouraging you to take ownership, hoping to empower you so that you can be proactive in your daily journey here, right? And so there's so much you can do. So first of all, we're talking about neutralizing free radicals. There's an excess of free radicals going on inside of our bodies. And by the way, guys, we did actually episode number 8, I think it was, all on antioxidants, which is what we're getting ready to talk about here. And so if you have not listened to or watched episode number 8, antioxidants, we highly recommend that you go back and you review that, because it will get you all kinds of information that you need. Especially it'll start putting puzzle pieces together as we talk more about these theories on aging, specifically today's free radical theory. So when we're talking about antioxidants, in episode 8, we talk about the different kinds of antioxidants that there are direct antioxidants and there are indirect antioxidants. And just very quickly, simply, direct antioxidants are the ones that you take into your body, like in pill form or food form, or even drink form, right? And the indirect antioxidants are the ones that your body produces itself naturally as part of its toolbox, right? Of taking care of this amazing body that you have. And what your body makes is always significantly more powerful than what you can take into your body from the outside. Okay. So just know that there's so many things out there that you can take inside your mouth, eat it, drink it in pill form, that will help reduce free radicals, but not on the scale that the ones that your body make in fighting off free radicals. It's like 1,000,000 or 1-to-1 compared to 1 to 1,000,000. That's how vastly different it is. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about reducing or balancing, neutralizing antioxidants.
I love it.
Go for it. Yeah.
What do you think what angle should we take?
Well, I think that we should talk about, because we've already talked about antioxidants so much on episode 8, I think that we should talk more about the indirect. Maybe share just a little bit right now about a pathway that we can actually activate that creates your own antioxidant enzymes that can fight for your body a heck of a lot better than anything that you can take.
Okay.
So NRF2. I would love for you to share NRF2.
I always like to use analogies. So let's just say you have a building. Let's call it a warehouse. Somebody's business, a warehouse. And that business catches on fire. What would be the best way to neutralize or extinguish that fire? Now, let me back up before you answer the question. Let's just say this is a modern building. And in this modern building, there is a very sophisticated sprinkler system, which is exactly designed for, because you hope the sprinkler system never comes on. Because if during the normal day-to-day activity, if that sprinkler system came on, it would probably ruin the business.
Right.
It would stop everybody from doing what they were doing. But when there's a fire, that's exactly what you want to happen. You want to you want the sprinkler system to turn on and extinguish the fire. That's actually the built-in protective mechanism, and that's exactly what it was designed for. So now you understand the idea, okay? So now let's say that building catches on fire and somebody says, no, we don't want the sprinkler system to work. They actually turn the water off. They turn the water off, no water going to the sprinklers, and instead they go in with a garden hose or a couple cups filled with water, maybe some buckets even, and they start throwing buckets of water on the fire. Now, if that was your building, how would you feel about that? If the firefighters came up, turned off the sprinkler system, and went in and started throwing buckets of water, how would you feel about that situation? Would you be happy? Would you be angry? It was like, wait, there's a system that's meant for that. Get out of the way and let it do its job. That's the analogy. So our body is built with a system that is designed to reduce free radical damage. It is a pathway that Marcy talked about. It's called NRF2. And when that mechanism, when that switch is flipped, the enzymes inside your cells are produced. And these are antioxidant enzymes. They are very, very specific. They know exactly what they're doing. It's like the sprinkler system in a building that's on fire. Now, here's the cool thing. It actually goes after the free radicals, targets them directly, and neutralizes them a million. Here's the cool part. Let's just call it a drop of water, okay, from the sprinkler system. Each of these enzymes neutralizes a million free radicals per second, every second.
It's amazing.
Ongoing, because it's the body's design. The kind you take, whether let's just say it's a nice 8-ounce glass of really, really cold pomegranate juice, and it's really good.
Yummy.
The pomegranate juice, a drop of pomegranate juice, let's just say, will neutralize 1 free radical. The free radical is done. The drop of pomegranate juice is also done. It's a one and done. It's done. It can no longer benefit. But when it's in your body, that single enzyme continues ongoing, a million free radicals every second ongoing. That's the difference. It's literally a million times stronger. And here's really just the amazing benefit. The antioxidant enzymes made by your body do not neutralize the free radicals that your body makes for your own good. Let me say that again, because it's super important that you get this. The antioxidant enzymes made inside your body by triggering this NRF2 pathway, they do not neutralize the good free radicals that your body made for your immune benefit. They only neutralize the bad ones. But if you take some pomegranate juice and let's say you add some vitamin C to it and some vitamin A and some vitamin E, which are all antioxidant vitamins, they don't know the difference between between a free radical that your body made for your own good and the one that is meaning you harm. They just neutralize them all. And that can be bad, but the bad side of it can be good ultimately, but there's a bad side. There's no bad side to when your body does it itself, and there's it's a million times more effective. So the question becomes, would I rather take my antioxidants or would I rather make them? Because making them gets less and less efficient as we age until we figured out that pathway. Or not we, it's like we didn't do it.
No, we didn't.
Wouldn't that have been awesome if we did?
Oh my gosh.
When we can benefit from scientists and researchers discovering this pathway, we're just the beneficiaries of it.
Yeah.
We're so grateful that they did that. We can now turn back on the switch that stopped turning on or was less and less efficient turning on as we age, and turn it right back on, and it starts working the way it did when we were kids.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
That's slowing
science.
down. That's slowing down the rate that you age.
It
It's
is.
so cool.
And literally slows
inside.
down. It's like pump the brakes, baby. It slows down the aging process. Can you hear the brakes screeching right now?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
You know, so there's some products out there. Actually, there's natural compounds. There are foods that you can eat that can kind of slightly twist that path just a little bit to get it working inside your body. But because you're taking it from the outside in, it's not effective in the way of a formula that's actually been found that just has a synergy with 5 ingredients. And this 5 ingredients actually is so significant that it turns back on your body in such a way that it's reducing that damage. It's reducing that oxidative stress by an average of 40% in the first 30 days of taking one pill a day. And we are so grateful that we actually were introduced to this, over a decade ago, and you 12 years ago. Yeah. And so we've got a little bit of a head start on this than you guys, but we just wanted to make sure that you knew that there's ways that you can actually use natural things, eating oranges, antioxidants, all those kinds of things. They work on a small level, but there's other ways that you can get the massive result that your body truly needs to function at its optimal level. And so some of the benefits that we're getting, it's like one, I already mentioned one, reducing that oxidative stress by 40%
30 days.
in just 30 days time. But how about reduction of inflammation and even working with scar tissue in such a way, you know, that it's, I mean, I would love to share my personal story with you guys sometimes because, you know, I've had 3 spine surgeries, and just the way that this has helped my body be able to heal and just feel better and to be able to perform at a higher level in ways that my doctors never said I would be able to. I am just so grateful that this was brought into my life. But on top of that, I mean, gosh, I wanted to make sure that I could share the benefits with you guys, because being truthful and having integrity is so important. So reducing cellular stress, neutralizing more than 1 million free radicals per second, regulation of survival genes, so increasing the survival genes inside of our bodies. How about supporting our body's natural ability to repair and rejuvenate its own cells? I mean, if you like to work out a lot, I got to tell you, that's a breakdown of your muscles. It's a breakdown of your cell tissue and your muscle tissue that's all made of cells. And what a great way to help you recover. And then again, reducing that oxidative stress by 40% in just 30 days. So we are so grateful that we found this. We wanted to share it with you, let you know that there are things out there that you can do to help you with your aging and any of the resulting effects of aging. First, by becoming, you know, more knowledgeable, and then making a decision to do something different. So that is the free radical theory on aging. And we wanted to remind them about the raffle we've got going on, right?
Yes.
You want to share that?
Yeah. So last Friday, we talked about an amazing new product called Daily Wellness, which within 2 hours has noticeable effects on improving the function of your immune system. We're giving away a tub of that, a container, a 30-day supply on the next episode on Friday. So go back and listen to what was that episode, whatever episode that
14,
was.
I think.
We're 16.
13.
Yeah, episode,
13.
Yeah.
Just go listen to all of them. You don't want to miss these things.
So we're giving away. So that's dondiamarcy.com/raffle to enter that raffle. And it's just an amazing, when you have a better functioning immune system, you have to worry less about your own wellness because it's always important, but we tend to focus on our wellness when we don't have it versus when we do.
Yeah.
We focus on our wellness when we get a bad diagnosis from the doctor. We focus on our wellness when we're not feeling good. We focus on our wellness when we try to get out of bed in the morning and our body doesn't want to. That's when we realize that we're missing wellness. It's kind of one of those things, you don't know what you got until it's gone. That applies to wellness. So it would make more sense to keep it around longer, or if you're losing it, get it back. Pump the brakes on the losing process and get back on the wagon to keeping it. And then, because it's easier to stay healthy than it is to get healthy.
Yeah.
But once you get healthy, then you just maintain the momentum by doing the things that got you there, and you're going to stay there longer. That's what real wellness is.
And actually, the benefits compound.
Yes, they do.
Once you start making a good decision on this journey, the benefits that you will get, the longer you do it, compounds. So get started today and make sure that you're doing everything you can to be proactive in your wellness. So guys, this was episode 16. You want to make sure that you tune in for episode 17 so that you can hear all about the second prominent theory on aging, which is mitochondria. Right,
where energy comes from.
Yeah, so
figure out where your cells get their energy and how you can get more of it. Tune into next episode.
Yep. So Dondi and Marcy here, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into episode 16 of Wellness Foreplay, where we know through the investigations that we do together, we can come up with the knowledge that you need as the foreplay to your optimal wellness. So thanks, guys, for joining us. We appreciate you, and do us a solid. Share this out. Make sure that anybody that you've thought about during this episode that could use this information, that might be suffering from age-related, free radical damage, please make sure that they see this information, hear this information, and they get signed up for the raffle that we will be having in just 2 short days. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us.
See you next episode. Bye-bye, guys.